Hello there.
You know how you know it's just gonna be a good episode by the title itself? I feel like this is gonna be the case with this X-Files episode, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I always get a feeling like if a title sounds amazing, it just translates to the episode itself. So what's going on, guys? My name is Elie Moses, a 24-year-old law and film student here from Sydney, Australia, absolutely shooting his shot, and we have been watching the X-Files for the very first time. We are up to episode 20 today of season 1. This one is titled Darkness Falls. It just sounds like a banger. Like I said, it sounds like a banger. We are going to get into the reaction. We're going to have some fun with this thing. And as always, let's absolutely freaking smash it, baby. Let's go. Guessing these are some construction workers in the forest. And they've clearly encountered something and they're like, we got to make a run for it. It's the Predator. I still want that X-Files Predator crossover to happen. There's so many episodes in, the forest. And I'm just like, these landscapes are perfect for the Predator. Hey, this is forbidden forest territory, man. They're in that Harry Potter zone.
I think it's broke. Come on, you gotta get up. I don't think I can make it.
Come on, I just want to hear the crackling. I want to hear the crackling. Damn, a green flash this time. Interesting. The truth is out there.
Take a good look, Scully.
What am I looking at?
30 loggers working a clear-cutting contract in Washington State. Rugged, manly men in the full bloom of their manhood.
Right, but what am I looking for?
Anything strange, unexplainable, unlikely? Boyfriend?
I don't know. I give up, Mulder.
You give up? Funny, that's apparently what the Federal Forest Service has done as well.
Why? What happened to them?
In a word, they vanished. Or so it would appear.
30 of them. That's
This
crazy.
is Doug Spinney and Stephen Teague. They call themselves monkey wrenchers, the guys who drive spikes into trees, sabotage logging equipment, and otherwise make life miserable for lumberjacks and lumber mills. That's what the lumber company and the Federal Forest Service are accusing. They've asked the FBI to investigate. I had to pull a few strings to make sure we got the case.
For an eco-terrorism case? Do I dare ask why?
Do I dare ask why?
1934, long before anyone even knew what an eco-terrorist was. A WPA crew working that same area vanished without a trace. Not one of those men was ever found or heard from again.
And you suspect what? Bigfoot?
Not likely. That's a lot of flannel to be choking down, even for Bigfoot. Come on, Scully. It'll be a nice trip to the forest.
You better change your attire, Scully. Both of you better change your attire.
Fox Mulder, this is Dana Scully. We're with the FBI.
Both dressed for the occasion.
Forest Service.
Put your gear in the back of the truck.
Steve Humphreys, head of security for ship Emergut Lumber.
Mulder, Scully.
Well, we've got a 4-hour drive ahead of us. Plenty of time to get to know each other.
I get the impression that we've walked into the middle of a war that's already started.
Scully looking like a little Girl Scout. The way she's dressed, the way she's got her hair tied back. She's just going for an adventure.
Why do these men work so far up in the wilderness?
That's where the trees are.
You're kidding, right?
No, environmentalists have pretty much made sure that all the land you see here is untouchable. They're cowardly, and so are their tactics.
Homemade tire spike. Clear through the sidewall. It's unfixable.
You got a spare, don't you?
Right tire's history, too. The monkey wrenchers call it a caltrum. Roads back here are littered with them. Indiscriminate terrorism. Can you imagine somebody putting these down or spiking the roads of Washington, D.C.? I'd like to see how much sympathy they get then.
So how are we gonna get up to the camp?
You're gonna have to hike.
Damn. No call for an extra tire potentially. Waiting. I don't know. I don't know how long they were being driving for actually, so I don't know. I just said, F it. We're hiking. That's our only option. At least the camp has some cars.
cut it down?
Yeah, I think so.
Why they send Scully up? Oh, probably because she's the lightest, but
You all right, Scully?
whatever does this cocoons its victims. And this ain't the Hobbit, man. These ain't some big ass spiders. This ain't Fangorn Forest. But might as well be.
Oh, God.
Whatever those fireflies were, they did those things.
It feels desiccated, hard and dry, almost preserved.
Like it's been embalmed.
No, more like all the fluids have been bled from its body. Almost like it's been cured. I think
Look how fascinated.
it's a male.
Look how fascinated Mulder looked.
I'd say it's some kind of spider's nest or insect cocoon. Itsy spider.
Maybe it is a big ass spider. My boy's alone at the camp, working on the motor. We're about to lose him. Well, unless it's probably one of the surviving loggers.
Don't move. Who are you?
Oh, it's the...
Doug Spinney. How to shoot you where you stand.
Might as well shoot yourself, too.
You're in a hell of a spot to be testing me. What happened to my men?
What men?
The men who were working this camp.
I don't know what happened to them. Probably the same thing will happen to us when the sun goes down.
What are you doing?
This animal's Doug Spinney. He's the man responsible for all the monkey wrenching. He's probably a murderer as well.
I'm no murderer.
You're a liar.
Let's just hear what he has to say.
Wait, is that
Stand
who
around
it...
here talking. I'll be
Oh, it's the guy! Is that him? Is that a younger version of the guy who plays the Man in Black from Lost?
I'd start thinking about how to get that generator started.
I think it is.
Darkness is our enemy.
What's he talking about?
Someone want to give me a hand?
It is. It
giving
is.
orders?
It is. It is. It
I'm
is.
the
It
one who
is.
fixed the damn thing.
Hey, it's all right.
Took me a while to clock it. It was the hair and the mustache, Freddie Mercury style, man.
Why did you say the darkness was our enemy?
That's when they come.
When who comes?
I don't know what it is. They come from the sky, take a man right off his feet and devour him alive. I saw it happen.
Happened to who?
He's the perfect individual to cast in this role, I feel like. Because, I don't know, I feel like he has that gravitas, that on-screen presence, but he oozes some kind of aura where he's just like, he's the perfect individual to have that sort of cold line delivery about what's happening. And he just delivers it with little emotion. Like, it's just...
I need to eat after what happened to Teague.
That's the man that you said was devoured alive.
Yeah,
What are you guys doing out here?
camping.
Yeah, right. The kind of camping you do is a federal offense.
Just hold off a second, okay?
No, he's right. This man's an admitted felon. Could be placed under arrest.
What about your offense, my friend? Huh? What about the offense against nature you perpetrate?
We operate completely within the law. We pay for the right to take those trees.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got news for you. Your logging crew is taking trees that nobody has a right to, trees that are marked and protected. So don't talk to me about breaking the law, sir.
They've been taking marked trees,
Yes, sir. Marked in orange.
old growth trees. You know anything about that, Steve?
A lot of shady shit going on.
Gonna take this man's word over mine? What? I go out that door, somebody's gonna attack me, eat me alive, and spin me in his web.
Yes.
Yes.
What, it's too polite to come in here and get me?
For some reason, it's afraid of the light.
It's afraid of the light.
There may be something to what he's saying, Steve.
You know what I think? I think this man is a liar and a murderer and just clever enough to make up a story like that. Even to whip up that cocoon just to save a few trees. And I'm gonna prove I'm right. Don't be shy. Come on.
Are they like bioluminescent bugs
Just like I told you.
or fireflies?
There's nothing out here but a bunch of trees. Trees that this man values more than human life. I'm gonna see him tried on murder charges.
What do you think?
I think I'm going to suggest that we sleep with the lights on.
I don't know. I should take a core sample.
Hey, we finished with this nature walk. I want an answer to what happened to those loggers.
I kind of like this Federal Forest Service guy.
Stump? Don't you think you should be interrogating this man?
I don't think he did it.
Well, I think he did, and I want him arrested.
Well, he's not going anywhere.
Well, not with a gun on him. But what happens if you're poking around his three buddies show up and do to you what they probably did to those two federal forest officials, huh? Larry?
I just want to take a core sample of this tree, Steve.
Hey, I got families down there who want some answers about their loved ones, and so do you. Answers that aren't going to be found in that tree.
The only crime here to investigate is the death of that tree.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
I understand the frustrations of the logger guy as well,
Steve, where are you going?
especially with like
I'm
the
gonna hike
random
down to your truck, get on the horn, and get some people up here who'll take some action.
disappearance of 30
Steve?
men.
Oh, let him go. Let him find out for himself. Right after that tree was cut down is when Teague died. It's about the same time the loggers disappeared too.
You think these mites are what killed the men?
Maybe they've been lying there dormant for hundreds of years. Maybe they woke up hungry.
And that's what happened in the 30s as well. They cut down the wrong tree. Something that was dormant for a very long time. Can we just agree that this character might be surplus to requirements? He might be gone. He's gonna F around and he's going to find out.
Damn it.
This episode really reminds me of the last episode of the X-Files in terms of like the location itself being a character, and like it sort of adds to the atmosphere of the episode being eerie, unpredictable, you know. That sense of you don't know what's out there, the element of the unknown. Along with all the fog, the mist. Very similar to last
All right,
episode.
you monkey wrenchers, come on out now.
But I feel like with much better characters. Or like a more intriguing
What you're up to?
plot line. And it doesn't seem like an X-File. It seems like there might be some sort of scientific explanation for these bugs. Some, maybe they evolved differently or something along the lines of that. And it's just within this little pocket. Turn all the lights on, turn on the lights on, turn on the car lights. Now, where did that rock spawn from, man? Yo, Patrick Starr's house is literally about to kill this guy. Or preventing him from escaping. And I love the green color grading here. Or not the green color grading, but the green light that the bugs emit. Very alien-like.
Yeah, but how does that explain the bugs?
Well, after Mount St. Helens erupted, there was a large amount of radiation that was unleashed from inside the Earth. Strange things started to grow. There's actually this lake where they discovered a kind of an amoeba that can literally suck a man's brains out.
A brain sucking amoeba.
Well, it's true. In Spirit Lake, and there's documented cases of swimmers being infected.
But an amoeba is a single-celled organism. It can be mutated. An insect is a complex animal. A mutation would take years and years to evolve.
Well, maybe what we're dealing with isn't a mutation at all. What if it's some kind of extinct insect larvae in that ring? Deposited during a period of volcanic activity, brought up through the tree's root system, ancient insect eggs. Thousands, maybe millions of years old, lying dormant
Until
until
those loggers cut down that tree.
Possibly. Possibly.
That would be rather poetic justice, don't you think? Unleashing the very thing that would end up killing them. Your friend Humphreys. Who knows? Maybe us. Sweet dreams.
Humphreys might have just hiked out of here. We don't know that he didn't. Maybe we're letting ourselves get carried away with this bug story.
yeah, maybe.
That light better stay on, man. This is kind of like the ice episode, but in just a secluded cabin in the woods. Mysterious insects, dormant for hundreds and hundreds of years. I feel like they're replicating the ice episode just in a different location. Whole group of characters. Not an expedition per se. Oh, you could say kinda. But what's Spinny up to now, man? Come on, Spinny, I kinda like you.
Neither do I.
Look, I can save us all, man. We've got a Jeep over there. It's just 2 valleys over. All it needs is a battery. Now, I could get there. I could be back here in the morning. We can all drive out tomorrow. You gotta trust me, man.
He doesn't sound that trustworthy, but
Radio's back up.
This generator's got about a quarter tank left, maybe less.
What about the gas in the trucks?
There is no more gas. The other tanks have all been ruptured or filled with sugar.
By the same man who we are not trusting to keep his word and come back for us.
Well, then
frustrating.
we gotta get back on the radio. We gotta send out a mayday.
Every drop of fuel we waste is fuel that's going to keep this Jenny powered tonight.
Why is
And I don't
Mulder?
want to be waiting around hoping somebody heard that transmission when this thing quits running about 2 o'clock in the morning. Do you?
I understand this guy's frustration completely. I mean, the guy's known to con other people, and Mulder was just gullible again. His gullibility is gonna cost him one day, man. Too trustworthy in others. You're gonna have to live with that.
Mulder.
Look, it's done. I shouldn't have let him go. Let's just move past it, okay?
Fine.
Or maybe Spinny is gonna
What
come
do you
back.
suggest?
Who knows?
I don't know. We'll think of something.
Look, I think we both have a pretty good idea what happened to those loggers. And what happened to the group in 1934.
They only found one cocoon.
It's a very big forest.
Look, Scully, what would you have done?
You mean would I have made a decision by myself that would have affected the whole group?
Oh, will you cut the sanctimonious crap?
Well, what do you want me to say? Let's face it, Mulder, we might die up here. If we're lucky, they'll find our bodies spun up in a tree, or they may not find us at all.
You're right. And we're wasting time arguing about it.
Telling you, man, this is the ice episode in the woods.
What are you gonna do?
Button this place up. If we gotta spend the night in here, we gotta do everything we can to make sure the bugs stay out there.
Don't they have any torches? Can't they light a fire or something? Create light that doesn't come just from the generator? Torches, yeah, or a fire, potentially. Can they light a fire in the cabin, just like... Or outside, potentially?
It's the only bulb that works.
They creeping in, they creeping in.
I can see them. Hey guys, look at this.
Shine a torch on their ass.
They're on me.
Stop it! Stop it!
You're seeing them! Mulder, get them off me!
They're not just on you. They're everywhere. I think that's what that greasy residue is over everything.
I thought we were supposed to be safe in the light.
We are. I think the light keeps them from swarming. We'll be safe as long as we stay in the light.
That thing running on fumes, man.
I'm okay.
What a crappy
They're
trip to the
oxidizing
forest.
enzymes, just like fireflies. Maybe that's why they cocoon their prey. So they can oxidize the proteins taken from the fluids in the body.
I can't believe there's like no torches. They can't start a fire or something. There's no fireplace in the cabin. It's game over, man. It's game over. Just in time. Just in time for dawn. They're gonna find a cocoon up in there, man.
It's a Jeep.
That's Spinny? Oh, he gave his word.
Gotta move. Let's go. Let's go.
Wait, what about the body? Humphrey's body.
We're not gonna make it either unless we haul ass. Let's go. Come on.
Kept his word. Potentially. Or maybe he just so happened to pass by them. He was just leaving on that road. He wasn't going back to the camp. Oh, man. The very thing he uses, he fell victim to. Doesn't he remember where he planted them? Probably planted so many he can't remember where he did them.
I don't believe it. You talk about shooting yourself in the foot.
That is so true.
Get out of there! Get back in the car!
Bro, stay in the headlights. Stay in the headlights. Duck, go into the headlights. Stay in the headlights. Stay in the headlights. Why are you running away? Oh my gosh, they're about to get so lucky. Wait, it's the morning. The Spinny got wrecked, I'm guessing? Should have stayed in the headlights or ducked down into the headlights. Isn't there like an overhead light in the Jeep? There's the quarantine team.
With 3 victims with undiagnosed infection or exposure to unknown biological vectors. Repeat, that's an emergency evacuation situation.
Oh, they're still alive.
2, possibly 3 victims.
Golly's moving. So maybe it's in the cell cocoon in an early state. All the proteins weren't sucked out of him yet. All the fluids weren't sucked out of him. It's a process that takes a while, and they just got to them in time. I didn't expect Mulder, Scully, and the service guy to... Like, that was a pretty dark... This is a pretty dark ending to the episode, right? Talk about raising the stakes. Not even our 2 protagonists are safe, man. I'm glad that guy made it out.
How are you feeling?
Better. How did the test come back?
Your respiratory charts were good. We were concerned about the extent of damage due to inhalation. There were large concentrations of a chemical we determined was luciferin.
Which is what?
The the same enzyme we find in fireflies and other bioluminescent insects. Our entomologists are still trying to determine the specific epithet of the insects you encountered.
How's she doing?
She's still not out of the woods, so to speak. She lost a lot of fluids.
No pun intended.
2 or 3 more hours of exposure. She might not have made it.
I told her it was going to be a nice trip to the forest. How are you going to contain it to the forest? What if the swarm migrates?
The government has initiated eradication procedures. They're quite certain that by using a combination of controlled burns and pesticides, they will be successful.
And if they're not?
That is not an option, Mr. Mulder.
Success and only success. Damn. That wasn't the happy escape kind of ending we're used to getting in the X-Files. Or like with Scully narrating over the events of what happened and her, you know, typing up her reports. That was a pretty, that was a pretty dark ending. That was a great episode of the X-Files, ladies and gentlemen. One of the stronger ones in season 1. I felt like, I think my comparisons are kind of right in terms of like that being ice just in the forest, but still a really great episode. And you know, did Spinny survive? Did they get to him potentially? Like, who knows? There's still now with Spinny, or 32 bodies, the 30 unaccounted for, or if you count the 50s as well, like there's so many unaccounted bodies just cocooned in that forest. And yeah, I thought just Spinny should have ducked into the headlights. Maybe, I don't know if the Jeep had like internal lights like cars have nowadays. But I'm pretty sure in the 90s they would, right? Maybe they could have turned on those lights in the car, but I doubt the Jeep had any. But yeah, they could have ran into the headlights potentially and stayed there, and stayed in the cover of the headlights for as long as possible. That could have been a thing to do. But yeah, I don't know why they didn't start a fire or something, but like the atmosphere of that episode was great. That was really, really great. I feel like I was comparing it before to the previous episode in terms of like the forest itself, the landscape being a character, you know, having that unnerving atmosphere, everything being unsettled, you know, the element of the unknown, and yeah, just all communication cut off, no helpers on the way, and it's just you and your survival instincts. I really liked it. But yeah. I feel like in terms of like comparing it to the last episode, I feel like the characters were much more interesting this episode, and I feel like the storyline itself was much more interesting. And that little conversation right there with Mulder and the guy in the hazmat suit was interesting too. About, you know, there's no other option but success with the government. Like, what if it doesn't work? It's going to work, bro. It has to work. That's it. There's no other option. We can't let this get out. Really similar to what Deep Dirt was saying in terms of like, you know, the public response to certain things. If this type of stuff does get out, we need to isolate it, contain it, erase it. Love it. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. It's been Elie Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.